Namaskar to everyone. Welcome to Manage Krishi Gyandeep Knowledge Lecture Series number 18, which is being conducted on 18th August 2022 at Manage. Manage organizes Manage Krishi Gyandeep Knowledge Lecture Series by inviting eminent persons from the field of agriculture and development sectors to share their lifetime experiences with the audience. In these sessions, the eminent speakers from development fields, they share their lifetime essence through live lectures, and these lectures are recorded as videos and are shared with many of the extension personnel, including the last mile extension worker who's there at the block level or at the village level. And also we share these videos through Manage YouTube channel for a larger public, and we also share these videos to more than 1 lakh extension professionals both in India and abroad to get motivated and inspired by these sessions. Today we are privileged to invite respected Professor S. Venkureddy Garu, who is an agricultural extension and rural development specialist with a wide span of experience. Today's topic is agricultural extension management, past learnings to guide future approaches. Welcome, sir. Now I request our Director General, Dr. P. Chandrasekhara, to kindly introduce today's eminent personality.
Good morning, all of you. On behalf of Manage family, warm welcome to you all for 18th Krishi Gyandeep Knowledge Lecture Series. Large number of partner institutions and facilitators and people who are professionals who are associated with Manage in agricultural extension management, they are also taking part in this program on hybrid mode, and all my colleagues, they are participating physically here in Manage. I would like to welcome you all to 18th Krishi Gyandeep Knowledge Lecture Series. It's my privilege to welcome Professor S. Venkureddy, Chairman Sri Venkureddy Foundation, to deliver this lecture today. Sir, it is our privilege and honor to welcome to this Krishi Gyandeep Knowledge Lecture Series, where you will be sharing your lifetime experiences with last mile extension workers in this country. A word about Manage. Manage is an autonomous organization in Government of India. We have dedicated 3.5 decades in service of Indian farmers for strengthening agricultural extension management. Our mandated activities are training, research, consultancy, policy advocacy, documentation, dissemination, implementation of international programs, promotion of agripreneurs, startups, and education. These are all our mandated activities, but all around agricultural extension management. Every year we reach around 50,000 people, stakeholders, through various programs. And my colleague Dr. Jaya already introduced the purpose of Krishi Gyandeep Knowledge Lecture Series. Large number of extension workers, they work in villages. On day-to-day basis, they interact with farmers. They face challenges. It's very important to inspire and motivate them with the motivational talks by outstanding professionals out of their lifetime experiences, so that we can connect global thinking to the local action of extension workers. So that is the very purpose of Krishi Gyandeep Knowledge Lecture Series. And this entire talk will be converted into a film, and that film will be shared with more than 1 lakh field level extension functionaries within and outside the country. That is the very purpose of Krishi Gyandeep Knowledge Lecture Series. So it is my honor to introduce today's esteemed speaker, Professor S. Venkureddy. He is chairman of Sri Venkureddy Foundation. Normally, it is the rarest of the rare occasion where a living professional promoting a foundation in his name and investing his own money from his earnings and trying to serve the farmers. Sarvareddy Venkureddy is a postgraduate and PhD in agricultural extension. He passed out from Indian Agriculture Research Institute with flying colors, with gold medal, and more than that, he is also from a farmer's family, and he dedicated 5 decades in service of agricultural extension. His focused areas are agricultural extension management, sustainable agriculture, institutional development, and organizing, conducting evaluation studies and capacity building programs. So he rose to the level of serving international organizations like FAO and World Bank. It is a matter of pride for all the extension professionals, and he is a great inspiration. He worked as Agricultural Extension Services Advisor to Ministry of Agriculture, Republic of Uganda, and he promoted Unified Extension Services. You see, today we are talking about Unified Extension Services, village level participatory approaches, decentralization of decision making, cost sharing, outsourcing of extension. So all these things what we are talking and trying to promote through Atma. So all these things were promoted by Professor Reddy when he was advisor to Republic of Uganda. And during this period, he established, a good network with many international organizations. Later, he joined as technical manager, second agricultural extension and training project in Somalia. During this time, he worked very closely with FAO, USAID and IFAD. And basically, he focused on communication techniques for use of field extension and training during this period. And before that, he was professor and head of Extension Education Institute. It's very close to us in Rajendra Nagar. And he guided many postgraduate and doctorate students in agricultural extension. Now, of course, he is retired from government service, but he is most active professionals in the field of agricultural extension. He is there wherever there is a discussion on agricultural extension as President and Executive Director of Participatory Rural Development Initiatives Societies, popularly known as PRDIS. It's an NGO organized, field level activities and academic activities in the field of agricultural extension management. He worked very closely with the then Planning Commission while we prepared approach paper on agricultural extension, and with the Knowledge Commission, Agri Biodiversity Committee, and many international organizations like IDH, ILO and FAO. Some of the recognitions in response to his service given to society is, of course, he is a gold medalist in PhD in IRI, and he also received Presidential Award for Sustainable Agriculture Development from His Excellency former President of India, late Shri APJ Abdul Kalam, and he also got Biodiversity Award by AP Biodiversity Board, and he also received Friend of Uganda Award from Government of Uganda, then Lifetime Achievement Award from Dr. Daniel Gustafsson. He was a DDG then of FAO, and Lifetime Achievement Award very recently from former Vice President of India, Shri Venkaiah Naidu ji, in recognition of his 5-decade service in the field of agricultural extension. And very recently, Chamber of Commerce and Industry, they also honored him, recognizing his service, and he also holds a honorary doctorate in agriculture. And he worked very closely with the stalwarts in agricultural extension, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan sir, and also Dr. Norman Borlaug and Dr. Daniel Benner, who talked about T&V system and many extension revolutions, reforms in the country. It's a great honor for us, sir, for your presence here, and we are eager to listen to your lifetime experiences. Thank you and welcome.
My dear colleagues and friends, I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. P. Chandrasekhara, our Director General of Manage, for giving me this opportunity to share my experiences, almost 50 years of experience in various capacities dealing with extension management and extension services. And it is a great opportunity given today, especially when the nation is celebrating Azad Ka Amrut Mahotsav. I think it is a unique opportunity for me to address during this period. I think I am really grateful to DG Manage for recognizing my services and also want me to share my experiences with most of our young colleagues who are now there as our external paternity. I would also like to thank Dr. Jaya. I think she has been so kind enough to extend the invitation. So I will be sharing my experience on agricultural extension management, mostly my past learnings to guide the future generation and the young extension professionals. As he has rightly told, I came from a farmer's family from Wakadu village of erstwhile Nellore district of Andhra Pradesh. My father wanted me to opt for BSc Agriculture, come back and help him in farming to, on the modern techniques. That's why, although I got medical seat, so he refused me to send there, and I obeyed my father and joined Bapatla Agricultural College. During that time, one of my guru who taught me extension education, he was Dr. A. Adivireddy. I think all of you must be familiar with his book. And I have also seen and heard a memorial lecture given by none other than our DG, first memorial lecture, paying tribute to my Guruji. I think, Dr. Adivireddy personality was such that he was a very, very giant personality. And, the first lesson, first sentence, he started with a poem, which was very popular then. So, the human beings have conquered Himalayas and hosted a flag, but still they have not changed. Their behavior has not been changed. Same thing holds with the farmer. He says that. Here lies the strength of extension, where we can able to change the behavior of farmers and human beings at large. And it is a good weapon for us to impart knowledge, skills, and attitude change, more or less behavioral changes among people. The only discipline, you would like to say. That particular tinkling was an inspiration, was a motivational. Just 2 lines, 45 years back. Till I recapitulate, wherever I go, whatever I think, even if I am somewhere, I try to think about that. So this is the one which has really this inspiration and motivation and the confidence on my guru has really sown the seeds of agricultural extension in my brain. And also the motivation to serve the farmers. So therefore I thought, after graduating, instead of going back to the farm, I thought, taking his advice, I went for the higher education so that I can serve the large farming community. So later on, I had my graduation, post-graduation in same institute, Extension Education Institute, nearby. I think I could able to see their outstanding gurus again. One, Professor Bhaskaram, Dr. Lakshmana, Somasundaram, so many other people were there. But Bhaskaram, the quality is needed for an extension manager today. His humility, the treatment of the staff, particularly, and also the way in which he could able to convince everybody. There is no enemy for him. So this is the outstanding ability of a good extension manager. Then he was the head of the Extension Education Institute. I think these 3 qualities, I thought that are very, very important, and I could able to really imbibe from Professor Bhaskaram. Then came another guru, Dr. Lakshmana. So he was a sociologist. At that time, he was talking to us on leadership and group dynamics. See, mostly leadership and group. Today, what we are thinking about, the groups, FPOs, everything has come at that time itself. It was initiated by him in our brain. So in other words, my studies in Extension Education Institute also has sprouted the seeds that have been sown in Bapatla College about agricultural extension. Then I could able to go back for a PhD in Indian Agricultural Research Institute. Then Dr. M.S. Swaminathan was the director of Indian Agricultural Research Institute. And myself and Swaminathan bond was developed at that time because I used to go to his home and learn many things from him. At that time, I used to hear his lectures and all that. Still, I pay my tribute to him. He is the greatest personality I have ever seen in Indian agriculture. For him, probably, if I try to say what I learned in extension management from him is great administrator and a great communicator. Then from Dr. K.N. Singh, a Dean of Extension, you must have heard about him. The discipline, the time management, his credibility, his thirst to propagate agricultural extension, not only in India, but other countries. So these three are the remarkable qualities. Besides his teachings on extension management and research methodology and other things also were quite helpful to me, then who are spread over now in many parts of India. He said one word I would like to say here. Always he used to say that we cannot carry an atom bomb in a bullock cart and try to win over the war. Now technological explosion is coming. And at this time, we should also change our techniques and tools, and we should have a research in extension commensurate to that, to see that this technology can reach the farmers with good abilities of communication and other things. Besides this, he also said, management is one thing, deals with resources, deals with people, deals with technology. But extension management has one more component. We should also manage the media and methods. That's our ability. There are other three things are the manager. Any manager can do that. But the other one, to reach and communicate, to see that the farmers can able to conceive it, accept it, and adopt the technologies. What combination of media, methods, and other things which I think. So management of these type of aspects in the communication is most important. Therefore, extension managers have one more element that they have to fulfill. So then my journey, I just came out from there. Then I joined again back where I was a student, an Extension Education Institute again. And it went from assistant professor onwards. I was a professor, and for 5 years I was head, or today his designation is the director of that institute. But one interesting thing which I'd like to share with you today when my director general is here. Actually, for conceiving manage, there was a committee appointed at that time. As head of the Extension Education Institute, I was one of the members for conceiving the manage approach and all other things. So I think we had in NIRD almost 1 month, 2 months or so preparing the working papers on that. So I was privileged to go from conceiving that one, and today I am standing at Manage to share my experiences. So I am really privileged about that. And the extension education journey for about almost 15-20 years. So it has really given me a wider spectrum, both in teaching, training. You have all the, on the extension management, and many aspects of it I could able to learn there. At that time, there was no manage, but, only regional institutes. So 3 regional institutes used to do most of the functions of training the field functionaries. I also had a good opportunity to also work in some of the villages, what we call adopted villages. I think always this also given me a good impetus to learn many things about the farmers and their problems. After this Extension Education Institute, I moved to World Bank. It has given a great opportunity because I was there in Extension Education Institute. I would like to say I came across during that time Dr. Daniel Benar. And being, head of the Extension Education Institutes, I could participate in many, many meetings in Government of India on training of visit system of extension, T&V system. Came across, Benar, Baxter, many other people in the World Bank. And I was also privileged to be invited to the Thailand to participate in T&V regional meeting at Bangkok, representing India. And so once came out from there, still I feel it is also internalized with me, T&V system of extension. It is a good management system. Of course, any things will have its own drawbacks. People used to say it is costly. People used to say no bottom-up approach. It is a top-down approach. So many other things have come on there. But the principles and the philosophy of T&V system still being implemented in many of our programs, either in a modified way or research extension linkages, whatever you call it as. I think to me, for extension professionals, it was the golden period. We are recognized everywhere. And similarly, the research, also it is a golden period. And research extension linkages were developed there only. And he has an organized system of governance of T&V system program. On the extension management side, regular visits, let us say regular trainings, like that. Many things were there. All the principles of T&V system to me apply a good extension management system, if we try to take into consideration. So I think that knowledge has also helped me in the World Bank when I was called to go to Somalia. So in Somalia, my job was mostly convergence and coordination with donors and the ministries. But I was specially made in charge to coordinate this one and converge and prepare agriculture development plans. During that time, I learnt, which is good even now for extension management, agriculture sector management plans, what they call it as. It is all wide. You have agriculture, animal husbandry, fisheries, marketing, credit, everything what you call related to agriculture. There will be one plan only. And whatever the amount money is available in that one, it is resources are available. Basing on our priorities. So we shift the resources from one sector to the other sector. And finally, we prepare a plan for that year. So it is not each department preparing a plan. The sector management plans were very, very fruitful and very, very useful, which I could able to get. And for any extension program, it is very, very much applicable. Similarly, from there, I was Agricultural Extension Service Advisor at Republic of Uganda. And where definitely, as he has already told, I don't want to repeat, but definitely that unified agricultural extension system was introduced there. I think it is more Atma only. What we conceived here, Atma, it is almost similar. But the question is, it was, all the ministries merged there, only single ministry. All the department coordinated into one department. At the grassroots level, we had one field extension agent who can able to address the people in all walks of life. Animal husbandry, fisheries, this one. For that, what we have done is, we have retrained them. The field people from agriculture were retained to get some knowledge about fisheries or whichever it is, that particular area, or animal husbandry and few things. So he is a holistic personality who can able to see the field, plan for the field according to the resources, and then advice also gives in a holistic way, more or less a type of a whole farm approach, whole family approach. And the third dimension is farming system approach. All the three were there in the grassroots level, the last worker. So in that way, one single worker used to deal there, and of course they have made legislation to see that this is happening. And at district level, we used to have a district extension coordinator and subject matter specialists and all that, like TNV system. Later on, it was also subject to a little bit of criticism, and later we brought in some changes, the cost sharing and convergence, outsourcing of extension. This was a good experiment actually. As we promote public-private partnership, which is a key. So why would you do that? In extension management, the most important thing why we do that is the transparency, accountability, and rational use of resources. These three are, possible. But if you try to do only a government program or a private program, so it is not possible. Of late, I think, PPP model is almost indoctrinated into the dynamics of extension. So credit go to manage. The DG also from the beginning has been promoting the PPP model anywhere. And there are good examples now, and people are coming forward to do this type of an experiment. But while we are also there in, Uganda, another extension management, principle which I could able to imbibe is mostly concerning with single line of authority. So that works. So if you try to have a single line of command I don't call it as an authority or whatever it is. So then you can able to achieve many things. So this duplication of efforts also will be reduced. So this is one type of an experiment of unified extension, cost sharing and other things we have done. All this, how we are able to do it also, a team from Uganda, including myself, some African friends, some World Bank people, almost we toured 22 countries. So it's just to study the extension. So what is the systems they are having? You all know very well that there are countries which have a private extension separately. There are countries which have a only public extension. There are countries which have a mixed. There are countries who have also delegated completely to farmers' organizations. And the family organizations have been emerging. So all these different countries are using different models. So we had a great opportunity to study in many countries. And of course, the system that is in operation means the extension management system in operation and how they have been able to do it. And this knowledge has given us enough thinking to modify our own thinking on unified extension and then build up. So some of the good, practices that have been adopted in other countries, and we brought them up into the Uganda fold, and we have also done few experiments and pilots here and there. Now, the unified extension is being implemented in 14 countries, and it's working very well. I think we have a parallel system here, Atma. As DG has rightly pointed out, wonderful program, good conception. We have a convergence model. We prepared a lot of plans, research and extension plans, together. But while implementing, each one is implementing their own plans. Because we evaluated Atma, therefore I am trying to say last year. Everyone is implementing their own programs, but plan is the one. At the planning stage, they have come together. But they have forgotten, and each one goes and approaches the farmer and try to say, same farmer, but give the advice, guidance, and all that efforts and everything is going on same way. I appeal to all my colleagues in extension, kindly study in your own states how Atma is functioning, prepare some cases and send to the manage these cases. So once these cases are being analyzed and all that, who knows, all of us can support to have a reorganized another reform. See, today, the reform, what we have done is not enough to guide us. We are giving more priority to value chain approaches. So all these things are possible if we can bring. It is important that we should have a type of a modified system you call, new system you call, a type of a reform is necessary. Today, if extension management has to be perfect, and if you have to reach and teach farmers and double the income, or what you call it as livelihood improvement, everything which we have to do today, I think there is also need equally a big reform in extension. And I appeal to all my colleagues from this platform that kindly cooperate. Manage is the only institute which we can take forward this, thinking, your thinking, to the higher ups, to see that it is, materialized in one way or the other. All the extension fraternity should come together to think about further reform in extension. Otherwise, we cannot meet the challenges of sustainability. We cannot meet the challenges of globalization with the present system. And we cannot meet the challenges of convergence. I am the president and executive director of a NGO. You see, actually, after World Bank, I was given a chance to go to Vietnam. I could not go there. I came back. I thought in a bigger interest to serve the farmers, let me have my own organization. I started that. Then I have also started the, my own foundation and things like that, as he has told. That is not the great thing to start an organization. You need only 1,000 rupees. So any organization can be started off. But the question here is, for 20 years, we are able to sustain it. So almost 2 decades. In this field, we have opted, fortunately, one important field, sustainable agriculture. I don't want to say that spiritual agriculture, natural agriculture, organic agriculture, carbon-based agriculture, whatever you call it as. And now the things have come also, something people are trying to say, rejuvenative agriculture, or, something, different words are coming up. But the question here is, everything should be a sustainable agriculture. Whatever we do, the paths are different, but the flag is the same, sustainability. So, economics, equity, social concerns, and environmental concerns. These 4 should be an important factors if you try to talk about sustainable agriculture. But the question, we have started this journey with the sustainable agriculture. See, why we have become successful also, I will tell you. We started this journey with, not in Mahbubnagar, although we started there. Then we went back to the tribal areas, particularly Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh. 5 years we worked there in the tribal areas promoting sustainable agriculture, because it is easy also to promote there. Because they do not use much of chemicals and, things like that. Whatever they are using also, we can tell them, they listen to us, they recognize us. And once the demonstration is good, farmer field school is good, they copy. So it has spread like anything. In Chhattisgarh and, Jharkhand, particularly in the paddy, maize, and also, sesame. These are the 3 crops in which in tribal areas we have introduced. In fact, it is not double, even triple the yield they have got it at that time. So that was big revolution. Then the Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh governments have recommended us for that award also, from Presidential Award. One thing what I would like to say here, see why tribal people are happy. They're happy, always. See, one of my teachers, an anthropologist in IRI, has given me one book. All of you can also read that. Nature Man Spirit Complex. That is written by one famous anthropologist, Vidyarthi, in Santal Parganas of Bihar then. So he has made that study and all that. Beautiful book. And he says that why people are happy. Because they are protecting the nature, number one. And they live with the nature. They love the nature. And you drift away from nature, they are not happy. Anyway. So, in that way, he has given very, very nicely in that book, the protecting and preserving, then 30 years back. Natural resource management is the key for every citizen of this country. The soil, whatever it is, water, whatever it is, natural forests. I think the people have written books, but somehow we have not followed, and we are also facing the music of climate change. Now climate change, addressing the climate factors is one of the important things for today for agricultural extension, one of the themes which we have taken up now. Farmer field school approach has helped us a lot. We have not gone by demonstration, we have gone by farmer field school approach. Today also, to me, farmer field school approach, learning by doing, is most important. You can produce agripreneurs through which he has demonstrated. Agribusiness schools now emerging, and we are also emerging, we have also done some experiment on farmer life schools for teaching the community development and other things. So anyway, more than a demonstration we think about every time. Let us try to think about for effective extension management at a grassroots level, for the last mile worker, train him in farmer schools. This is what I feel. Whoever have been trained, they have been a change agents, and from farmer to farmer extension, it has been proved that they are able to spread the knowledge and other things. Of course, even those days when digital technology was not there. So today, digital agriculture has become a, almost a, homemade, and everybody is talking about digital agriculture. But still, my own viewpoint to my colleagues on the extension faculty is digital agriculture is good to reach the unreached, many people, but still, extension also has a component of skill. There may be simple skills to complex skills. Simple till to complex skills, skills you may try to demonstrate in a digital agriculture, but complex skills it's not possible. So therefore, digital agriculture definitely should be able to supplement and complement all our extension efforts. This is what, as an extension manager, I also told an additional responsibility to managing the media and other things. The third one, that human touch, to change their behavior. Sit with them, talk with them, console them, have emotional intelligence, share with them, have an empathy. It makes lot of things. And credibility of some of the messages you are communicating also, for them to adopt it. People may follow, may not follow. It may not happen, and we will not track it also. We only count that so many people have been reached today's message. Extension, we cannot, that human face of extension we should not forget. Anyone who is using the digital technology, I love it, it is important. And in today's circumstances, we can reach more people, that's good. But it can be a supplementary and complementary, and don't go just by digital alone. That is my message, my experience, which I would like to convey to all my colleagues. Now, coming to the agripreneur development, I think we worked with Manage also on ACBC. Some of them are doing an outstanding work on agricultural. Similarly, we have also developed some agripreneurs in the villages. Through them, we are trying to promote technologies. That's happening here with a private organization, Syngenta, and the Syngenta PRDS is doing in Khammam in Chilis. So we are trying to do something of that type of a thing, module. We are trying to introduce and trying to do that. There is no need for experiment also. See, agripreneur is also a farmer. We are not bringing them from somewhere. See, only we are reshaping them. We are making them more knowledgeable on business administration. We are making them more knowledge, on marketing, which is a very, very important subject today. And these people are going and teaching and reaching the farmers. That's a good. I'm sure it will be a very successful model when we try to think about farmer to farmer extension. I think this is going to work also very well. Then, ladies and gentlemen, I think I would like to give, basing on all these global experiences, some of the points to strengthen extension management. What can make the agricultural extension management to further strengthen? I am not talking about a new management system now, that should emerge later. One thing we have experimented and done it, result-oriented management, ROAM, what we call it as, rather than activity-oriented management. Result-oriented management is the key for us to evaluate anything. It is not activity. How many number of farmers are trained is not the question. How many people have adopted the technologies? How many people have increased their income? How many people have improved their livelihood? So this becomes a challenging questions on a result-oriented management. ROAM, I think you can also refer. This is also a very, very good subject, and a number of books are there on on this, how to plan and all that. So which type of tools and technologies and participatory approaches in combination we can able to use it in order to get a better output for planning, agriculture development programs, let me say. The combination of tools, there are participatory tools of many that there, Transact, this, that, problem solving, everybody, one of you know. I don't want to repeat them. But which combination can be able to give which results? I think we have thoroughly experimented that, and we labeled it as, not here, even from Africa it has been borrowed, and we try to say that village level participatory approach. In fact, we have developed a manual also on this one. And this is working very well to build the ownership and also connect this one to the panchayats. So the ownership, see, whatever we do participatory approaches, still I remember my teacher Benar tried to say that don't wake up the line, not to feed it. If you don't feed it, you wake up the line, it will swallow you. That's what, participatory approaches. People go there, tell many things, and then they try to have a, plan prepared. They say you will get this, you will get that, you will get this. This is the program for you. And then from next day onwards, there will be a demand. You cannot go there, enter it there if you cannot do that. So this is also, we have to think about and optimize it. It's a very, very, very essential. And then, basing on village level participatory approach, then prepare agricultural sector management problem. I am really for sector management plans rather than holistic plan, rather than going agriculture, animal husbandry, marketing and other things. Probably in unified extension we have done, and I also appeal that anywhere, even in a small program, it will be useful. Program, it is also useful if you try to have a sector management plans. When I talk about program, again I am coming back to you. Somehow 50 years of my life, I did not like this project approach. But I cannot help it, because they give a project. This project approach is only 1 year. Let us say 1 year, one project is over. The program approach, whenever we are thinking about extension management or whatever it is, adopt a program approach than project approach. Project approach is no good for anyone to implement and show the results, because we are talking about result-oriented management. A group of professionals making themselves, available to the farmers to give advice, guidance and other things. And they earn money. That's a different issue. But from seed to harvesting and, going up to the level of marketing, they try to, do the job totally. Totally. See, only cultivation is being done by the farmers and all that. But these people will help them to anchor from seed to marketing almost. Groups are emerging. But FPOs are doing that job now. Farmer producer organizations, many of them are doing, assisting their own capitalized farmers and then helping them to do that technology and help marketing and other things and export and other things. But SWT FPO, a group of professionals, I could not able to say, why not to have a medical model? In our extension management also, if somebody want to pull together the resources and would like to come as a private practitioners to doing this type of a job, that can be done also by agripreneurs who are being developed by ACBC. So I think a group ventures will be there for them. This consultancy venture anyway, they are doing, but that they can able to make it, a professional, imbibing a professional link with them. I am always with one thing, whole family approach I told you. I think we should also care for a gender approach, mostly, like a whole family approach. Now family farming also has become, FAO, promoting it here and there. Whole family approach, whole farm approach can only pay dividends of improving the livelihoods. You can have other occupations also. It's not that everybody has to work in the farm only, but let us try to have our plans incorporated as a family. How to bring this family up with 2 acres of land, two cows, 4-5 goats and 10 chicken. So how this family livelihoods can be improved by integrating in a different farming systems. So this is what we can able to think about. One more factor I would like to say, which we are now doing with ILO, which is very, very beneficial, fundamental principles and rights at work. So child labor, decent work. I think decent work should be one of the components of our extension planning and management. Today it is very, very important. It is an emerging field, very important, and many companies and other things who are producing the produce, they are asking whether you are implementing decent work component, the child labor and many other things. So because if there is a child labor, menace and other things are there, stopping buying the products. It has come to that level globally. I think decent work, fundamental principles and rights at work, promoted by ILO and other organizations can be one of the components. And the second one, we have implemented a big program of Better Cotton Initiative. I think we have implemented with 25,000 farmers for 10 years. I was a council member also in the BCI. It is now in 23 countries now. So this Better Cotton Initiative, in the principles itself, that I liked it. They say, soil health, water management, and, integrated pest management, and they say biodiversity, decent work. And they put another component, extension management. Extension management is also scored when they try to evaluate, that particular, better cotton principles. It is also there put as an extension management. See how the management principle is being applied and adopted. Monthly reports or whatever you call it as, how they manage extension. They have given some guidelines. According to that, that principle is much more important and equally important with soil and health and other things. So this I liked it. I think, we should also give equal emphasis in our programs, on the decent work and extension management as one of the principles or the component. In US and, Brazil and many other countries, standard operating procedures are being there for cultivation of crops, SOPs. But it is for landscape agriculture. So landscape agriculture is emerging also as a bigger field now. So landscape agriculture in a big area which you are doing or a contractual farmings are doing and all that, SOPs are being put it in force and they are doing a commercial type of an agriculture. I think if, smallhold farmers is a different issue, even with the large scale farmers, we can also try some of these things. And I always emphasize wherever I go, the extension is only trying to say more about production, protection, and you talk about value chains and marketing and giving money to them. After giving money, what is happening? Money. This is also our challenge. No? What we call a type of a lifestyle management. We should also tell them after that how this money can be successfully used to expand their cultivation, expand their implements, expand the other things, or education, health, whatever it is. And it's drifting away somewhere else. So whatever additional production or income we are generating, and it is not being used for their own welfare, their own enlargement of the family incomes and all that. So I think this is one thing which we have to think about, and simultaneously we should educate them on some of the abuses what they are trying to do of this money, and what for it is meant and how it can be done. And this is also a challenge now which we should take as an extension managers. Of course, one small point I have missed is, already I told, fundamental principles and rights at work, mostly concerned with labor. I think we should also think about labor issues today, more important. One thing important, we must work in convergence. Convergence is the key today. If farmers have to be benefited, I think something we have to do. I have seen, Andhra Pradesh, there is Raitu Bharosa Kendras, a good innovation. Whatever we talk about today, farmers' pride and extension worker credibility, these two are the twin factors which will make our whatever management principles we keep it. If these two twin objectives we can able to achieve, take into consideration farmer pride, that is more important. Don't neglect them. And their pride is our pride. And an extension worker credibility is always most important. There is no two opinion about it. If you really want to change his attitude and we want to have a better adoption of the techniques and technology. My dear colleagues, I think we should rededicate ourselves to serve the farming community with good extension management principles, to elevate them from poverty and hunger, and also improve their nutritional status, which is very, very important. And probably, therefore, what we need is a reformed extension management service which can able to have extension for all. Like education for all, today we have to think about extension for all. I strongly recommend all of you, being the motivated workers, I think you should come forward to face the sustainability challenges and then move forward to see that our farming community livelihoods are improved. Thank you very much. So there is a question here, despite having so many extension tools, why is it that we find most of the pilot projects do not come up with expected results in our country? See, we are using a lot of extension tools we are having, and we are not getting the expected results. That's what gentleman is telling. See, for this, I think my answer is I must know also what extension tools you are using. But this is a general statement, my dear friend. There are some pilot projects we may not get it, but there are some pilot projects which are successful also, very successful. So therefore, we cannot undermine that all pilot projects, because of use of all tools, it is not happening. I think therefore I told you already, as an extension manager, you must be able to know what tools and techniques, what methods and media you should be able to use for promoting particular type of technology in a particular ecosystem and with a particular farming system. So this is more important. I think we cannot, it is a general statement. You should be able to really, as a good manager, you must be able to use appropriate techniques and tools to get the results. Why is it that after we failed, as field functionaries exist from the project period, it oddly gets replicated by farmers of beneficiaries at village level? Yes, my dear friend, and it's a very good thing. This is the reason why we are asking you, the field functionaries may work, your projects may work for 3 years, 5 years, and you may withdraw. Here is the chance for you to promote farmers' organizations. Let farmers' organizations be promoted in that particular area before the field functionaries are withdrawn, and then see that the farmers' organizations manage the extension programs in that particular village and this one. That's what is happening. That's why we are advocating more going for farmers producer organizations, whatever you call companies or groups or networks, whatever you call it as. I think farmers should be able to manage. The handing over should be correct enough, right enough, because we cannot serve throughout. For example, I will tell you, see, water management project we are doing in one of the villages in Kesampet here. So 5 years have elapsed, we have rightly handed over to the farmers user groups and with some funding. You know, the last funding which has come has been given to them, and they should be able to manage the structure, they should be able to manage the all that has been done there. I think it is happening better, but it all depends upon how we promote the farmers' organizations, convince them. Handing over is more important. Just withdrawal of staff, you know, unceremoniously will not help. That is more important.
Sir, thank you very much. I would like to briefly conclude by just summing up. Sir, I think as a seasoned professor, he went back to his student days and started talking about his Gurujis, starting with Dr. Adivireddy Garu, how he taught about scope and space for extension everywhere, and then Dr. Bhaskaram for humility and behavior with juniors and staff, and Dr. M.S. Swaminathan as a great communicator and great administrator, Dr. K.N. Singh for discipline, credibility, thrust to propagate extension in India and abroad, and his teachings in research methodology, technological advancements, and management of communication and media. And Sir spoke about his experience at Extension Education Institute, Rajendra Nagar, Hyderabad, in teaching, training, and also in research, and by working in some of the adopted villages nearer to Extension Education Institute, and at World Bank his experiences, and at Somalia mostly it was about convergence and coordination of donors for preparing agricultural developmental plans, especially in agriculture sector management plans. And at Republic of Uganda, Sir shared his experience on unified agricultural extension systems, wherein a single extension worker deals with multi disciplines of agriculture, like agriculture, animal husbandry, fisheries, etc., and whole farm and whole family approach, and integrated farming systems approach through extension workers trained in agriculture and allied sectors. 14 African countries are, even today, they are adopting this unified agricultural extension, and outsourcing of extension, and most human resource concepts like behavioral concepts like transparency, accountability, rational use of resources, and other concepts which are very much favorite of the extension system now, which are indoctrinated into the dynamics of extension, like public-private partnership, and Atma, the convergence model, and FPO's value chain management, and Sir staunchly proposes that reforms are every time required. It is not a static one, but constantly reforms are required in the extension system. And as a voluntary organization, they had lot of exposure to sustainable agriculture, where economics, equity and environmental concerns are taken care. And while working with tribal farmers in Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, especially in the fields of paddy, maize and sesamum, the yield tripled, and which helped them to receive the presidential award. Sir came up with a lot of points relating to how farmers can be transformed as agripreneurs, and through promoting farmer to farmer extension. About a dozen points are narrated, but sir concluded with saying that farmers' pride and extension is credibility. That is most important, and we need to take care of the farmer should proud about himself, his occupation, his profession, and feeding the nations. And extension should have all the credibility for the advisories that they are proposing to the farmers. And also appealed that let us rededicate ourselves to agricultural extension to help the farm families to improve their livelihoods and improve their standard of living. So now I request our Director General to kindly thank the eminent speaker today.
Professor is from farmers family. I think from day one they start facing agriculture challenges, they start learning the solutions. So agriculture extension was not learnt when he joined BSc Agriculture. He started learning from his home only. So this nearly 8 decades of experience sharing with us today is a great opportunity for all of us and all our partner institutions participating online. It's a great opportunity. Thank you very much for your valuable time and your love and affection for Manage coming here.
Thank you.
Sharing